we don't hire mean people. We only hire nice people. We work for nice people and we hire nice people. It's really not that complicated.
Customer experience wisdom, a dash of travel talk. We've been cleared for takeoff.
The best meals are served outside and require a passport.
Welcome back, CX Passport travelers. We are doing it once again, another episode of CX Passport Live. Today, we're going to head into the world of destination hospitality with Sara Abbott, Resort General Manager at Metropolis Resort in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which I just learned today how to pronounce. So
yeah, it's not Eclair, it's Eau Claire.
So I got it right.
You did good,
right off the bat. So Metropolis is a 111-room resort that Sara leads that combines hotels, water parks, go-karts, laser tag, and more, all under one roof. She was actually named the 2023 Innkeeper of the Year by the Wisconsin Hotel and Lodging Association, recognition that, well, it reflects both her focus on guest experience and her commitment to building a strong team culture. You know, we talk a lot about CX and digital or service offerings, but today it's all about how that experience plays out when your product is water slides, trampolines, and go-karts. This one is going to be a lot of fun. Sara, welcome to CX Passport.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Yeah, this is a real treat for me. I haven't had a resort conversation before, so this is going to be fun for me and for the listeners. So, and we were talking about this a little bit today at the meeting here, but when you walk into a resort like Metropolis for the very first time, and it can be any resort, but what's something that you notice that most people wouldn't? And how does that guide your approach when you're thinking about improving guest experience?
I think you always want to look at it from what a guest is actually what they're seeing, right? And so, of course, I'm always looking for cleanliness. I'm looking for friendly, smiley faces.
Yeah. I'm
looking for fun. When I come into this hotel that we're at here, I'm always just checking things out to see what it looks like. And, just is it clean? Is it nice? How friendly are the people? And then what kind of memory are you leaving with the guest, right? Like, is it fun? Is it corporate? What does that kind of look like, I guess? Is
it hard for you to actually go places?
No.
Like, are you always on radar?
I love going to hotels. I was just telling my coworker that every time I check into a hotel, I'm as excited as like I'm a kid. Like, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to compare to how we do things. You know what I mean? And see what's new and cool and different. And then a little part of me is like, oh, we do that better. You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
Which is fair, like you want to compare yourselves to others, but you also are trying to raise the bar constantly. But sometimes it feels really good. I'm like, yeah, we're way better than these people.
What's like that one trigger when you walk into, let's say a place, let's not say Metropolis.
Sure.
Some place that is not y'all's. That you're like, man, you have to get that right. It really bothers you. That's the one that gets you.
It's people.
Okay.
It's always people. It's the first impression at the front desk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's always people. Like, I will overlook almost anything if the people are wonderful.
Ooh. Okay.
You know?
Ooh, I want to get into that actually with you. If people are so important, I want to talk about, okay, well, how do you attract them and all that. Yeah. But I want to talk first about this Metropolis University.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That I saw, and it was just kind of fascinated because now people are already in the door, but you're helping hourly team members grow into actual leaders. Yeah. So where did that idea come from, and how are you actually able to measure or tell that it's changing the culture there?
We don't really have a measurement tool other than like our turnover percentage.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's a classic metric.
But like where I work, right now we have 188, team members. Of them, there's probably 40 that are full-time adults. The rest of them are students. And so they're in college, they're in high school, they're at the technical college or wherever it might be. And so one of the things that we were trying to get to the point of was hiring 14-year-olds.
Okay.
Right? And I want them to stay with us until they're 22. Because we hire a 14-year-old, they may only work 6 hours a week. Right? Because they're kids, and they don't even know how to work. They don't know the first thing about having a job. They don't know where to get dropped off by their parents. They don't know anything. But by the time they're 17, they've got a taste for money. and they need money because they've started getting some, right? And they've worked here for 3 years.
Yeah.
So they're really, really good. And so what would happen is we would hire these kids and we would teach them how to be employees, and then they would go to the next job. And I said, no more. We want them to stay with us until they're 22, until they graduate from college. And so we, with the Metropolis University, we started a series of different things that we teach courses. And it started with, I taught a class that I called Service Recovery 101, right? And I put together a sheet and I said, and what I learned was that our team wanted me to tell them what to say when things happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a part of their training process. And I realized that I was sitting down with all these, I have department heads, there's 11 of them, that all these different department heads, and they didn't know what to say when XYZ happened. So I put together a script of like, okay, after this is said, we say this, then we say this, then we say that. And you don't have to say it exactly like this, but here's what we do. So that happened. So we had Service Recovery 101. Then we had Delegation 101. Then next thing we know, I have a list of courses that I have taught. And I was like, okay, now we got to do something with this because we have all of these systems in place. And then my coworker, Danny, was like, this is Metropolis University. And I was like, yes, it is. And so from there, we have all of our trainings, all of our, all the different cross trainings that we do. And then we also put together a series of lunch and learn. And the reason why we did this is because we wanted our team members to stay with us for a long time. So we're giving them tools to become adults and just lifelong skills. So we have budgeting 101. Like
wow. So, but beyond the job category itself into life.
Yeah. I've taught the class how to cook like a mom. So we brought in coworkers and taught them how to make like budget-friendly meals that you could meal prep and, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, and how to cook like a mom, right? And taught them how to work with how much money you have, here's how we grocery shop. We learned that a lot of our coworkers just weren't taught that sort of thing by their parents or by whatever, you know what I mean?
And you talked about this being measured in the retention. I can absolutely see how that is. Almost kind of thinking of it from the other lens, your company is taking a big investment in someone. And there's a lot of companies that view that age category as, look, it's disposable talent. We know they're going to be here. We know they're going to leave. And we're not going to invest any time in them, and we're just going to really amp up our high-volume hiring approach to this.
Right.
You're taking an investment in someone and saying, we want them here for that long.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how y'all go about identifying talent. How do you go through that hiring process in a way that you're bringing in people that these are the ones we want to stay for those years?
I think it just sort of depends on, what coworker it is, right? But we find the good ones, and we say we only hire the good kids.
Right.
But our kids have to be in sports, in band. They have to have extracurriculars, and they have to be busy people, because I believe that busy people are successful people, right? And they're going to work hard. They're going to continue doing all the things, which means, though, that's very hard to schedule that because they're not completely at our disposal. So it's
sorry, I've got band practice.
I'm sorry, I've got band practice, right? But they're the good kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we work with their schedule. So one of the things that we do, I would say that we probably approve 99% of all request offs.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
I just need to sit on that for a second. Holy cow.
Uh-huh. It's something that we're really proud of, and it's enough to make you crazy some days. But we do it because, these kids commit to us. You know what I mean? But they work really hard. They're in sports. They're in schools. They have lives, right? And so when it's homecoming weekend, I work. Or when it's prom and everybody requests off, I go in and work. And that's our commitment that we do, is that, okay, we know that it's going to be a hard weekend, and we're going to, all these adults or whoever it is, we're going to wiggle around the schedule to make sure that the kids can go to prom.
Hey there, CX Passport travelers. I want to let you know about CX Passport Live. CX Passport Live helps brands amplify their event's impact with the power of live, in-person podcasting. Brands partner with CX Passport Live at their on-site event to help excite attendees, reward high-value customers, and convert potential customers. Bring a new level of energy and excitement to your event and amplify your brand's impact with CX Passport Live. Learn more at cxpassportlive.com. Now, back to the show.
I have to imagine, like, the prom example is so perfect because in that category, well, of course, everybody, and I don't know how many high schools there are and what the weekends are like, but regardless, there's a massive population asking off for all of those.
Everybody's going
moments.
to prom.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's some kids that be like, look, if you don't let me off, I'm gone.
Exactly.
Anyway, and so for y'all to know that, to build that in, to know that you're going to be working that day or whatever that looks like, it gives me the sense that we're talking about a company culture forged long ago that had that as the focus. Tell me about the heritage there. What is it that makes that culture the way it is, that it's so employee focused, intending then to deliver a great customer focus?
I think it's just who we are. I work for the greatest people on the planet. Like I believe they care so much about our team. They care about our guests. They care about our community. And so it just trickles down, right? We don't hire mean people. We only hire nice people. We work for nice people and we hire nice people. It's really not that complicated, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know how to, I don't mean to make it so simple.
No,
but
that's what I love about that, though, is the simplicity of that, because there's so much, and there is some complexity to talent management and understanding that. I don't want to diminish the skills of those that are in that world. You're right, though. You know, hire kind people and teach them the skills.
It's just the way it is. One of the things that we do when we interview is we make them walk with us. This is the silliest thing ever, but they have to be able to walk at a fast clip.
Really?
Yeah. Think about it, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah, when you say it.
If you interview somebody and then they're like, okay, well, let's go walk over here. Let me show you something, or whatever it is in the interview. And they like walk really slowly behind you and they don't talk to you while you're walking, they're not a fit for us.
Wow.
They have to be able to move quickly, and they got to be able to talk and walk.
Oh, this is so good, because you're talking about getting the interview out of the desk and into the actual experience that they're going to be delivering. Oh, that's brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they have to be able to walk fast.
I do now, and I love every bit of that.
You know, it's like there's just simple things that it is. But we also believe in, we believe wholeheartedly in creating our team. So we have several of our department heads. I mean, and these are high level, you know, managers that run departments. They make good money. They have careers, and they were kids. Then they were students who had internships for us. So one of the rules that I have is that anyone that works for us, if they want an internship, I'll make them one. Doesn't matter what it is: accounting, IT, mechanicking, you know what I mean, marketing, whatever it might be, we'll give them an internship. And so what we have gotten from them, one of them, for example, is my favorite example is Kate. She started working for us when she was 17. She was a housekeeper. I knew she was really smart. I tried to get her to work at the front desk of the hotel. She's like, I'm not dealing with people. I was like, oh, okay, that surprised me. I didn't know, you know what I mean? And one thing led to another. Right after COVID, I said, I know you're going to school for marketing. Can you do some images for me? Because I was doing a lot of the marketing at the time, and I'm terrible with graphic design. And so she's like, yeah, I can probably do that. Well, now she's our creative director. She's been there for years. She is absolutely instrumental to everything that we do. And she was just a kid. You know what I mean? We've got several of them.
And that all stems to what you described, that company culture, that's the focus, that this is not just a disposable, it's not disposable talent, it's not a disposable job, it's not a disposable moment. This is a chance to really grow in who you are. So at CX Passport, we've talked about this a lot. It's certainly out there in that world that the customer experience is so heavily defined by the employee experience.
It is.
You define this employee experience. This experience at Metropolis, it starts as it's just one moment in somebody writing down a slide, and then it converts into this is a treasured family memory? What are
Yeah.
some of your favorite stories that you've heard of those treasured family memories?
I think a lot of it is, we come here every year. We've been coming here for 12 years, this weekend, every single year for that long. And what we're seeing now is, because the Metropolis is 20 years old, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. We're in a meeting talking about, I said, you guys tell me about your birthday parties when you were a kid. What was it like?
Okay.
And we're at the point now when they're like, I don't know, my birthday party was always at Action City, our family fun center. And I was like, oh my goodness, we're aging into that. You know what I mean? Because I would always tell them about my birthday parties when I was a kid, you know? But I'm a dinosaur compared to everybody else on our team. But so we have now, the kids in our community have all grown up having their birthday parties there, right? And so we're always trying to enhance the birthday parties because we don't want to have the same birthday party every year, right? And so we have a lot of memories of that, but now we're experiencing young people and coming back with their children, right? Because they're at that age now where they're having babies and they're like, oh, we came here when I was little all the time. Now I want to bring my kids back. And that's really special, you know? That's like making family traditions. I think that's super cool.
Well, I know that a good portion of the population that attends is a regional, that folks are in their cars, but I imagine there's some folks, you may have met some folks that had some passports to get there, and that's a long flight. That's sometimes nice to stop down and take a break in the first class lounge when you're on a flight like that. Well, I want to invite you to do exactly that today. Join me here in the first class lounge. We'll move quickly here and have a little bit of fun. What is a dream travel location from your past?
Oh, goodness. I would say probably Walt Disney World. You know what I mean? That's always on the list. And I think making that core memory with my children, there's nothing like Walt Disney World. You know, we went to Universal Studios last summer with the kids. It was amazing. And, you know, some dream vacations really are like in northern Wisconsin and spending time camping.
Oh, yeah.
I know that seems very simple, but there is just something so wonderful about being on a lake, on a pontoon, and fishing and swimming and just having that time with your family. That for me is wonderful and very simple.
I'm with you there. There's something really amazing about the high intensity resort vacation. And there's something really special about just watching a sunset with a crackling fire and a beverage of choice as you watch that sun go down as well. What about going forward? What's a dream travel location you've not been to yet?
Hawaii, I've never been there. And so that's on my list because I'm absolutely obsessed with the whales. So I went to Alaska last summer and discovered the whales for the first time.
Wow.
So then we went to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico, and the whales were there. And so now we know that the whales are in Maui in January, and I want to go see the whales.
Boy, there's a lot of reasons to go to Maui in January, and if the whales are there too, that's especially, let's see, Wisconsin in January, Maui in January. That feels like a very wise choice. What is a favorite thing of yours to eat?
Tater tot hot dish.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Wait a second. I lit
It's
up
my all-time favorite meal.
When you said tater tots, I lit up, and then you added more to it. What is this?
So I'm from Wisconsin, and we cook Midwestern meals, and it's this combination of, you know, hamburger, cream of mushroom soup, and vegetables, and tater tots on top, and it's absolutely delicious. That is my Sunday meal. My kids love it, and it's something that we do.
Oh my gosh.
That's not what you thought I was going to say.
But now I'm like, I want to have some, I hope whatever dinner is tonight for our group involves some tater tot hot dish. Oh, that's awesome. How about the other way? What is something you were forced to eat growing up but you hated as a kid?
Broccoli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you gotten over that or still
No,
no
I still
broccoli?
don't eat it. And asparagus, I don't eat it. I don't like it.
Okay, I like
I
that.
eat it when I'm trying to be healthy, and I don't really like it, and I just pretend. So people think
Just
I'm healthy.
forcing it.
Yeah, they think I'm healthy. I'm like, oh, look at my steamed broccoli. It's
And then
terrible.
I'm going to go right back to tater tot hot dish right after that.
Something really good.
Sadly, we're going to have to leave the first class lounge. What is one travel item you will not leave home without, not including your phone and not including your passport?
I would say socks, because I don't like walking around on hotel room floors and barefoot. It's kind of a silly thing, isn't it? But I like to wear socks.
Oh my gosh, I totally love the socks answer, and I too cannot do the barefoot hotel room. Although I have liked how a lot of hotels now are starting to go to the hardwood,
Yeah,
and I feel a
yeah.
little better about that. But yeah, the carpet still has a little oogie vibe to it that I'm eager to go away from. You said something before we entered the first class lounge, and you were making a joke about dinosaur and the age disparity.
Yeah.
To have the kind of culture you're describing, though, there's a connectivity that you're having to bridge between what your experience was at that age and what your employees' experiences are at their ages. How are you bridging that gap and speaking into both worlds?
I think that it's really important to understand as a dinosaur. I'm 44, right? I'm not a dinosaur at all.
Dude, I got you beat.
Yeah.
Don't call yourself a dinosaur.
It's like I could be everyone's mom practically, right? And, you will hear things from different generations talking about the kids these days, and this generation that, and this generation that. And I don't feel like that at all. I feel like they are smarter than us. They have more skills and tools than we ever did when we were that age, right? And so you just have to learn to capitalize on them skills and really give the kids the credit that they deserve. They work really hard, and they're so good with people, and they're absolutely wonderful. And to think less than that, it doesn't work, right? They keep us young, they keep us fresh, but you gotta stay young and fresh, right? You gotta stay current. So that can be hard for, anyone older, but I think that bridging the gap and figuring out where they are at and meeting them where they are is important, you know?
I'm hearing a lot of you didn't say this word, but what I'm hearing is respect.
Yeah.
That it's not that, hey, I am the elder and therefore respect me, but rather, no, I respect you, generation, and what you are putting forth and the work that you're doing there. Are you finding that you're learning some things in the culture that you wouldn't have otherwise?
Absolutely, 100%. It was really interesting. We got through a really busy spring break, and I gave everyone $1 per hour raise that they worked.
Okay.
Okay, as a thank you. And I sent this big message, and it was all heartfelt. Not one single person said thank you. Nobody cared. No, nothing. And I thought, well, whatever, So then the next time I was like, we got through another big, busy season, and I just wasn't sure what to do to say thank you, because I'm a really big believer in saying thank you to them, right? And so I made lasagna. And I fed everybody, for us on a busy day, we'll have 90 people on staff, right?
Wow.
And so that's a lot of lasagna.
That's a lot of lasagna.
And there were so many people that came up to me and were like, thank you so much. And I'm like, no, I want to say thank you for all your hard work. Like, we could not have gotten through peak season without you, And it turned so much in my mind to realize that they really just wanted a genuine thank you. They don't want the money. They don't care about that. I don't even believe that some of our team is working necessarily for the money. They're working there because they want to.
Yeah.
Their friends are there. They like our customers. They like to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I have several team members that just won't quit. They have real jobs, and they come back.
Are you serious?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, they come back part-time whenever we need them. They just like to work there, and they can't say no. They just like being with their friends.
Oh my gosh! And there's a little bit of this, and now I'm bringing in my daughter into this. She has I won't mention the brand, but she works for a company there in Frisco when she's home for holidays.
Sure.
And I think she has the same attitude towards it of she doesn't really need the money, but she's doing it to build experience, build her skill set, and she kind of just enjoys the people that she interacts with.
Yeah.
And
I think there's a lot to be said about that. It's great to make money and whatever, but really enjoying it and having fun where you work is important.
Let's talk about that fun and at work, and all of that is kind of the human element. There's such a push, and I imagine, or I'm assuming, but maybe not, that even in your world there's this encouragement to focus on the digital. There's the online bookings, and I don't know if there's wristbands or other sort of things that are digital and that aspect of it. And I know that's a big focus. How are you making sure that you're growing in that digital space and retaining all of the beauty of human interaction that you're describing?
It's really hard. So right now for us, there's a big push for the kiosk world.
Okay.
Right.
Food ordering, is that what we're talking about here?
Food ordering,
Okay.
and then like at the front desk of our Family Fun Center, we'll service 1,200 guests on a Saturday, right?
Okay.
So we have to pump all those people through the line at
Yeah.
the front desk, and we of course could put up kiosks and do the things and cut out employees. I don't think that our guests are ready for that right now, and I just don't feel like we are quite ready for that, because we're not going to be able to give that service that we are known for and that we're proud of and that our team provides, and so that digital thing, it's great, it's wonderful, but hospitality is people. And
Yeah.
taking out the people, you lose that whole dynamic. And I just don't think we're quite willing to lose that yet.
Well, as someone who is a recipient of hospitality from time to time, I am glad that y'all are not doing that, because I value that as well as a customer and would want that. There's a place for efficiency, and there's times that I want my
Absolutely. Yep.
efficiency. But by God, don't take my humanity and the experience out of it. Well, okay, so as the company grows, and I think you spoke of there's a physical expansion
Yep.
taking place, and so that's more people, that's a larger enterprise. What are the systems? What are the processes? And really, how are you keeping that culture in place when you grow, that maybe there does come a point that you can't cook that lasagna for everyone that's on staff that day? How are you intending to keep the culture in place as y'all grow?
I would say a lot of that, it just has to be there. Like, I still have to make the lasagna. I know that it seems ridiculous, but like, we are a small company. I know it doesn't seem like it, but we are. And so that human connection still, I think, has to be there. Additionally, we make sure that by department, we still have that human connection between our team members and management and stuff like that. And so we have a killer Christmas party every year.
Okay.
Where I got pied in the face last year. You wouldn't believe it, but they had a penny jar.
Are we going to get some photos of that?
Yeah,
that I can drop in the show notes?
for sure. There is pictures. They had a penny jar of who they wanted to get pied in the face, and of course I won. But we raised money for a local charity.
That's good.
Which was cool. But I got whipped cream up my nose, but not the point.
But Merry Christmas.
But Merry Christmas, yeah. But so it's like we will continue. I think we will continue to do that stuff as long as I still work there, I think. You know what I mean?
Let's leave it right there
Yep.
at that. If folks wanted to get to know a little bit more about the whole Metropolis universe and ecosystem and maybe plan their trip there,
Yeah.
where should they turn to find more?
I would go to metropolisresort.com.
Okay.
Yep, you can check everything out and see what we're all about there.
I will get that in the show notes for sure. I may be having a look at it as
Yeah.
soon as we get off the
I
show
would
and
love
taking
to
a look.
have you. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one. You and I had not had a chance to really talk before this, and Ed, you've taken me on such a really enjoyable ride here, and especially talking about a generation that gets disparaged a lot in
Yeah.
the workforce. It's nice to hear that, well, hang on, there's a lot of energy and a lot of vibrancy and a lot of humanity in what we stereotype as the exact opposite. And
Right.
it's encouraging to hear that. It's insightful to hear how you are approaching that, maintaining the culture and the humanity there, and even the aspirations to continue to do it as you grow. I've
Yeah.
really enjoyed today's conversation. Sarah, thank you for being on CX Passport Live.
Yeah. Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week on CX Passport. If you like today's episode, I have 3 quick next steps for you. Click subscribe on the CX Passport YouTube channel or your favorite podcast app. Next, leave a comment below the video or a review in your favorite podcast app so others can find and enjoy CX Passport too. Then head over to cxpassport.com for show notes and resources that can help you create tangible business results by delivering great customer experience. Until next time, I'm Rick Denton, and I believe the best meals are served outside and require a passport.